Essential oils have kind of a bad reputation. Like a modern-day snake oil, they're touted as cures for all sorts of ailments, from reducing inflammation to treating headaches. Many of these claims are fairly harmless, but some are big, dangerous, and straight up wrong. Like a few years ago when some companies went so far as to claim their essential oils were able to prevent Ebola. Yikes. So it's reasonable to be skeptical of these products. But while it's true that some essential oil treatments are as bogus as healing crystals, others really do have uses that are backed up by research. So draw yourself a warm bath with your favorite scent and relax. We'll clear the air about which essential oils actually work. Let's start with what essential oils are. The concentrated extracts from various parts of plants, including the roots, barks, fruits, and leaves. The compounds in these oils are volatile, which means they evaporate quickly. That's what makes them smell so nice. The uncertainty around whether or not essential oils actually do anything comes in part from the fact that they can be tricky to study. Since essential oils are distillations from plants, the formulation can differ from batch to batch, depending on the plants used and how it's made. That makes it really hard to compare results across studies. And even if scientists were able to grow a bunch of identical plants and produce identical oils, there would still be research hurdles to overcome. The gold standard of research is to use a double-blind, placebo-controlled study where neither the scientists nor the participants know who has the treatment and who has the placebo. However, since part of the whole shtick of essential oils is that they smell nice, that makes a blinded trial a bit complicated. But fear not, people are, despite these difficulties, doing more research into essential oils because they do have some really promising uses, like making your irritable bowels less irritable. For folks who suffer from IBS, you know that this condition can be, well, crappy. And one of the most frustrating aspects is that there isn't a cure. So it would be really cool if something easy and affordable like peppermint oil helped relieve your symptoms. No, sniffing a diffuser won't make your IBS go away, but if you take a peppermint oil pill that is coated to prevent breakdown until it reaches the small intestine where it can work its magic, there's some evidence to suggest that it could reduce your IBS symptoms. But it's not really magic. It seems to work through the menthol in peppermint oil, which blocks calcium channels and can help relax smooth muscle, like the muscles that we have in our GI tract. And more relaxed muscles in the GI tract can help things go more smoothly. Peppermint oil is also antimicrobial, which can help eliminate undesirable bacteria in the gut. And things that are good for the gut are often good for the butt. Researchers generally agree that this stuff works. A meta-analysis concluded that peppermint oil is both safe and effective for managing IBS. So when used as directed, peppermint oil pills have some solid research supporting their use in managing IBS. But the evidence for our next essential oil is a little shakier. I have to admit, it sounds nice to get a bergamot oil massage instead of popping an Advil whenever my back hurts, and bergamot oil is often marketed for pain of various kinds. But whether or not it works is still unclear. Studies of mice have shown that bergamot oil does have active compounds in it that seem to reduce a few types of pain. Basically, those compounds might target the same opioid pathway in the brain that effective pharmaceutical painkillers use. If you do a search through the literature, you can find a lot of peer-reviewed publications that discuss the effects of bergamot oil used in aromatherapy to treat pain. In rodents, to be clear. There just isn't much evidence that it works for people. The few studies we have with human participants don't make a particularly good case for bergamot oil as a pain reliever. In one human study, scientists tested whether bergamot oil could reduce perceived pain in people having a procedure called a CT colonography. This procedure is also called a virtual colonoscopy, where instead of having a camera placed where the sun don't shine, doctors use a CT scan to generate images of your colon. Of the patients in the study, some received aromatherapy with bergamot oil, some listened to relaxing music, some patients got music and aromatherapy, and some received neither. And, drumroll please, the researchers did not observe any differences among the groups in terms of their perceptions of pain. But it's important to note that the CT colonography shouldn't be painful. So without more research, there's no way to know if an effect would be seen in a more agonizing procedure. It may be promising, but there just isn't the research in humans yet to really support the idea that bergamot oil is a good pain reliever. But if the pain is from a zit emerging from the depths of your skin, maybe try this next essential oil instead.
Thanks to Brilliant for supporting this SciShow video. Brilliant is a learning platform made by people who have put a lot of thought and design into being as effective as possible. Like, they don't just tell you about cool new concepts, they give you specific situations where you can apply those concepts, helping you build problem-solving skills along the way. Instead of memorizing stuff that you'll forget by the end of the day, Brilliant helps you build your critical thinking skills. That way, when the end of the day comes, you not only have a better chance of remembering what you learned, you might also just be a better thinker. You can find Brilliant at brilliant.org/scishow, the QR code, or the link in the description. And that link gives you 20% off an annual premium Brilliant subscription, and you'll get your first 30 days for free.
There's a long history of Bundjalung Aboriginal Australians using the tea tree plant to treat a variety of conditions, including colds, sore throats, wounds, and other skin issues. So maybe it's no surprise that there's pretty robust peer-reviewed literature to support its use for acne. When applied to the skin in appropriate concentrations in a lotion, tea tree oil seems to work. The long and short of it is that it's antibacterial and antifungal, as tested across a wide variety of bacteria and fungi, including strains that can contribute to acne. The active components of tea tree oil can interfere with the cell membranes of bacteria, causing them to become leaky. As you might imagine, when the insides of the bacteria leak to the outside, that's not good for them, and voila, the bacteria die. When a study published in the Medical Journal of Australia matched tea tree oil up head-to-head with the well-established acne-fighting ingredient benzoyl peroxide, the essential oil held its own. It didn't work quite as well as the benzoyl peroxide, but tea tree oil led to a significant reduction in acne. And we often overlook this part, but the patients using tea tree oil reported significantly fewer negative side effects, like skin dryness, itchiness, and redness. So the verdict on tea tree oil is that it is very likely to be beneficial for treating your acne, and perhaps gentler than some existing products. And while being gentle is great, we still want products we use to work how we intend them to, which may not be the case for this next essential oil. Rosemary oil is alleged to help improve memory simply by smelling it. I say alleged because scientists don't have any idea how it would do that. In one study, researchers speculated that the antioxidant properties protect neurons, but they literally said, "We assume this is how it works," which is a bit dubious. There have been some experiments to test this, including one where a group of researchers worked with patients undergoing hemodialysis who needed to be diligent about remembering to take medication. They tested if essential oils could improve patient memory and therefore increase the likelihood that they took their medicine. And the results were, it didn't make a difference. As much as I would love to make my house smell like rosemary and improve my memory in the process, sadly, it doesn't seem all that likely to work. But if you are looking for an essential oil where all you need to do to reap the benefits is smell it, you'll be excited for our final oil. Lavender oil has been marketed as a sleep aid for decades, and there are multiple active components in the pleasant-smelling fragrance that chill you out. Some act on the GABAergic system, which slows down signals in the nervous system, the cholinergic system, which plays a key role in many of the body's automatic functions, and the histaminergic system, which is involved in regulating circadian rhythms. All of that comes together to yield real results. Across several studies, lavender does seem to improve sleep. In one of them, participants with insomnia either used lavender essential oils or a sweet almond oil, which served as a fragrance control not expected to have an impact on sleep. Each participant recorded their sleep scores for 1 week at the start as a baseline, then used each scent for 1 week in a randomly assigned order, with a 1-week break in between scents. After all of that, they filled out a sleep quality questionnaire, and it turned out that the lavender improved the sleep quality of the participants. Since the study was small, these results can't be written in stone, but this type of study has been repeated by other researchers. A similar study was conducted with a group well known for terrible sleep habits, college students. Yep, I'm talking to you. Get some sleep. And again, researchers found that using lavender aromatherapy at night improved their sleep quality using the same questionnaire. Across many studies, lavender seems pretty promising for improving sleep. It's very low effort and is likely to provide benefits. I like that combination. So yes, there are some proposed uses for essential oils that are totally ridiculous. I'm looking at you, Ebola Claims. Watch it. And if you're trying to treat a health problem, you should definitely get a medical professional's guidance. But there are a few essential oil treatments that seem pretty legit. And if you want to go ahead and introduce some of these oils into your routines, they probably won't cause any harm. Whether or not it does anything, it just sounds so luxurious to treat yourself like one of those rodents sitting by a bergamot oil diffuser and give yourself a spa day. Maybe throw in a tea tree face mask while you're at it. For data collection, of course. Maybe you could also light your Anubis scented candle, available over at complexly.store. Made by SciShow, it's got 0 medical claims attached.